Hello pandas! Today we're scrapping a dishwasher. Sort of. I now have in my possession a discarded dishwasher that I want to make some money off of, so if that situation could apply to you, then stay put, because I'm going to show you how. It's more than you think. I know, scrapping a dishwasher. Nobody's ever done a video on that before, but hold on. A lot of folks scrap a dishwasher and then decide it's not worth it and never look at them again. But if that's what you think, then you're doing it wrong. We're going to tear this thing down and compare the scrap value in parts versus bringing it in whole versus the amount of time that it takes to do it, but there's something we need to cover first. Now, it is almost universally true that the scrap value is the lowest possible value for anything. So if we've got a surplus dishwasher that we're trying to make money from, the best way to do that is to plug it in and test it, and if it works, sell it as a complete unit. If it doesn't work and you can fix it, then sell it. That's a great option B. This particular unit is really old and not very efficient, and I'm not much for appliance repair, so there isn't much of a market for this one. Which is a shame because it's from the 70s, it was made by Hobart, it's got a bunch of features, and it still works, and most likely will work forever. Well, not this particular one anymore. Look at this manual. Seriously, look at this. The font, that kitchen they've got it displayed in. I'm talking about font. Look. That is classy. Nobody prints stuff like that anymore. And it gives you all the loading variations. This is a good little booklet. You know what? I was having a nerd moment. This isn't the time to appreciate vintage appliances, even though there is a lot to appreciate here. Very good unit. So here is where the money is. This is the part that everybody seems to leave out. Selling the used parts. Like and subscribe, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm kidding. Here, I'll show you. So we've got the motor that sells for 50 to 100 bucks. The door latch, that's 20 to 60. The heating element is 30 to 60. This one is a little different with the heating element. It used a forced air drying system, which was way more effective, but they changed to the coiled. You know what? The spray arm in there, those go for 30 bucks or more, and there's also the drain pump down below. Those are 50 to 100 bucks, but both of those are really difficult to clean, and that's generally why people replace them, is because they're all clogged up. So I wouldn't suggest trying to clean those out and sell them. And then the money piece, that's right up here. Those control panels, and this one's not a great example because it doesn't have a very complex control panel, and honestly, it'll probably last forever. But generally, these go from $50 to $200 depending on the model. Because dishwashers are so fancy now and they have so many, I don't know, it's the piece that always goes wrong, and they seem to sell a lot. So that is where the money is. There's other smaller things like the feet, the installation hardware, the rack wheels, the sliders for the racks, the cutlery basket, as well as the filter down there and these soap fill things, all of the plastic things that are likely to get broken. People will buy those, but they don't sell as often. This one would be slightly different on those smaller plastic ones. They'd probably sell pretty easily because these models have such a long lifespan and people are still using them today. But those smaller things are definitely much lower profit. Now those prices are just averaged from eBay sold listings. It obviously depends on the model, and some of them are priced even higher, but most people would just buy a new dishwasher rather than a $500 control panel, which I did see. But seriously, the average price for this one part is 100 bucks. Now that's the kind of ROI I'm talking about. Now let's crack this thing open and see what it's made of. And here we are, we're almost done. This bucket is filled with all of the steel, and that box is filled with all the stainless steel. Now if you want to come up over here, I've got all the other things. So this is everything else. We've got the motor, the forced air heater, the one pump and two pump, and then a bunch of brass and copper bits. This is just from the installation hardware and our wire. I'm not 100% sure if this is copper, so brass or copper. It'll go in the brass bin. First off, I want to see if this is a good motor or if I'm just wasting my time. I think that's stainless, but that's definitely steel. Oh, that one's stainless. I'm not really sure how to get into that. I have an idea. There we are. Some kind of solenoid or whatever, but that's definitely what we wanted. I'll give these the same treatment and see how much we get. Well, out of those other two, they each had, well, they were smaller, so there's less copper. They also had these, though, which I'm pretty sure... Not the easiest to see, but I would say that's probably brass. Now we have this. This. The heating element and everything here, I'm just going to call it steel. This thing, I could take extra time to take it off, but I'm pretty sure... Well, I thought that would be easier. Normally it's easier than that. Well, we're gonna call it a motor. And then the door is the last bit. So that's it. If we brought it all in one piece, it would have gotten us this much. And after spending an hour taking all the more valuable material off of it, it gets us this much. Now, I haven't even done the math yet, and I already know it wasn't worth it. Just a quick estimation, I'm gonna say maybe $3, probably less. Now this is one of, I'm gonna say, 3 different types of dishwashers you're likely to find. The other ones being, one, a much more modern one that is almost entirely plastic, and the drum is all plastic. Which is clearly worth less, and they might not even take it at some scrapyards because it's mostly plastic. Or the slightly better modern one where the drum is all stainless steel, and that'll get you about $10 more. So in conclusion, if you've got a scrap dishwasher and you want to make the most money for your time, here's what I suggest. Run a test cycle, and if it works, then sell it, but if you can't sell it, take out the motor, the control panel, clip the wires, I suppose, and maybe take out the latch. Then take the rest of it all into the steel yard as is. Sell the panel and maybe the latch on eBay, and then decide how you're going to scrap the motor. I'll have a video real soon about motors where we see if they're actually worth taking apart or best just to leave as is. So subscribe so you don't miss that. And click the like button to tell the robots that this is the best scrapping a dishwasher video on YouTube. Leave it better than you found it. Keep doing the thing.